Alright, it's time for another one of these videos on my workouts. I know some of you have been asking for this. I've been making some changes to my workouts. Today is leg and ab day, squats and leg raises. I'm warming up right here. Take a look at my workout log. Just a simple 3-set series, alternating pistol squats, and 1 minute of rest in between. And I made a note there. I want to try keeping my hands closer together while I'm doing this, improve stability. Warming up my hips, getting the stability going on, and jump right into it. It's worth noting that I can squat pretty much cold. My knees don't have any issue with it. My hips don't have any issue with it. Right now, my main challenge is stability in my hip. And today is actually a little bit on the rough side for me. I was training a couple of folks before, giving them some pointers on hip strength, demonstrating a lot of hip work. So my hips are really not as stable as I would like today. But you know what? It's not the best workout all the time. You can't have it 100%, so you always do what you can. But anyway, looking at my old workout log there, last time I had 3 sets of 12. Today my objective is, again, keeping the hands closer together, and I'm also shooting for sets of 14 on this one. I kind of took it a little bit conservative in the last time I did this workout with the sets of 12 alternating back and forth. It's usually, of course, an even number because I'm doing the alternating squats. So if I have an odd number, that meant I worked one leg, 1 extra rep. So it's always going to be an even number. So 12 to 14 reps isn't really that much of a jump. It's just 1 more rep on each leg, which should certainly be doable and possible for me to do. So I'm alternating back and forth, paying attention, trying to keep my hips as stable as possible. And that's the end of the first set. 1 minute of rest. It's good to time your rest periods, not necessarily so that you make sure that you're using the same or a given amount of time. People are like, should it be 2 minutes, 1 minute, 90 seconds, whatever. The biggest important thing is just that you have a consistent rest period. My workouts are geared more towards building muscle and strength with bodyweight training. So by having a consistent rest period, you take care of one more variable that could be kind of a loose wire, if you will. Because if I did, let's say, 1 minute of rest on this one, and I got 14 repetitions, but on the next one I got distracted, I'm looking at my phone, I'm chatting with people, and it ended up being a 2-minute rest period. Then I got into my set, I would have like more reps on the 3rd set, and I'd think, hey, great, PR, this would be great. But I'm not actually any stronger. I'm not actually any better. I'm doing more reps because I've rested more. So having a consistent rest period is key to making sure that the muscles are working on a very consistent basis, both what they're doing, how hard they're working, how long they're working for. You want to keep the majority of variables in your workout very consistent so that when you are progressing something, like in this case, the time under tension, going from 12 reps to 14, then you know you've made a progression and it's not just guesswork. Starting to get a little on the tired side of my legs, getting out of that deep pocket with the squats. This is where the hip stability is really coming into play. Some reps are better than others, of course, which is bound to happen. Being a technician, when you're doing your squats or any other exercise, you should be able to pinpoint differences from one set to another and even one repetition to another. Once again, resting for a minute, doing just some light stretches, staying loose, not doing anything too crazy, and right back to it. It's very important to jump back into it at the end of your designated rest period, even if your mind is like, I still need a few more minutes, give me a second here. You want to kind of keep that rest period as consistent as possible. So I always do well with 3 sets. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4. Check out my video on what I call peak set training, where you kind of use a little bit of your fatigue and managing your fatigue to know how many sets you should be doing that day. But for me, 3 work sets seems to be pretty much ideal for me. But you listen to your own body. Do what works best for you. If 2 works best for you, if 5 works best for you, you do what works best for you. I'm just showcasing what I do. Yeah, see, there we go. My hips starting to really lose it, starting to feel a lot more wobble in the hips, so I'm starting to get a little bit testy there with how stable I can be in the hips. But, you know, that's what happens when you get tired. And like I said, this is not my strongest workout. It's funny, every time I point a camera at myself, for my workouts, I never have a good workout. Like, I have these great workouts, and I'm like, man, I should have been recording that one. Every rep was like picture perfect. And as soon as I hit that record button, things get real ugly and squirrely. So wrapping up here, always take again a look at the log. What kind of progressions, what did I improve? What do I need to work on for the next time? That's the essence that improves. So looking at it here, I got 14 on each set as I was aiming for. And I made a note that I want to keep my palms together because some of these reps I was playing around with keeping my palms together rather than just the fingertips together, which seemed to make a bit of a difference. On to leg raises. Next one. On the workout log, I had 8, 6, and 6, and my range of motion really suffered on the last couple of sets in my last workout. So that's what I'm working on here. Keeping the legs straight and having a good solid pause at the top. I'm letting my body shift backwards a little bit as I come back to balance out and give myself a little bit more control in the hips. It's amazing. Every time I watch these videos of me doing it, this exercise in particular always feels like that pause is so much longer than it really is. And this is why it's so vital to watch yourself do things on camera, because how we think we're doing things and how we really are often so different. So when I lift up my legs like that, I feel like I'm holding it up there for like 5 seconds. And another rest period. I keep the rest periods pretty much the same for all exercises unless I need to make a variation. But at this point, 1 minute always seems to work. I'm also really focusing tension into my back, my upper back, keeping my arms torqued inwards, my biceps are on, my grip is on. Funny enough, for whatever reason, this workout today seemed to be more of a grip workout than almost anything else for me. But this is definitely a great exercise, of course, for the abs. Starting to really struggle now. I had 6 repetitions here last time. I'm trying to emphasize range of motion. Last time my feet were getting no higher than my hips. This time getting a little bit higher than that. Pleased with that. I also got 7 repetitions on that set rather than the 6. So there was a good progression there. Now on this one, I'm really feeling it. My abs are just on fire. So I'm going for just 6 repetitions, same as last week, but I'm trying to improve my range of motion. Trying to make sure that my feet are getting well above my hips on each repetition and just grinding through. The last couple of reps on this one were just absolute bears to get through. But I was pleased with the range of motion. So there is the new updates, 8, 7, and 6 for repetitions. And I made a note that I want to relax my breathing. So there you go, my legs and abdominal workout. Please like, share, subscribe. Be fit, live free.